Hello my nephews and nieces, it's your Uncle Kyle here, and who should be the next antagonist in the next Arkham game? I'm sure you guys have heard the rumors about the potential next Arkham game from Rocksteady, so let's speculate who would be the best villain for this game. You know, Two-Face is quite overlooked when it comes to Batman's most threatening villains, mainly because at the end of the day he's just a mobster with a bit of makeup on. But even so, you must not overlook the fact that this guy is strong as fuck. He can knock out anyone with almost simply one punch, and that doesn't exempt Batman from that as well. I mean, this guy is one of the most popular and one of the most well-known villains in the whole Batman mythos, probably after Joker and Penguin, but that has very good merit. I mean, think about his entire tragic backstory about being a half man, half meatloaf, who just wants to bring justice to the streets of Gotham, almost like a certain rodent flying around the city. I think what makes Two-Face most interesting is, yeah, his bipolar disorder, Solordra? Oh my god. Well, you see, I think what makes Two-Face most interesting is, yeah, his bipolar syndrome, but also, yeah, how he fights for justice. I mean, when was the last time in an Arkham game one of the main villains also fought for justice? And we're not talking about anarchy. He was the most side villain of all the side villains that are all in games. He didn't really matter that much. And I swear in the Arkham Knight, they just said that he died by getting eaten by Killer Croc off screen. Probably the most disrespectful way to kill a character off screen, but you know, Rocksteady are not really that, you know, they're not exempt from doing that. But I feel like Two-Face is a bit more competent. He's no Anarchy, he's no Penguin. I mean, he's basically Penguin, but you know, he has his own aura. There's no other way I can explain that. He just has more of that aura. But unfortunately, I do not see him carrying an entire game, an entire Arkham game. I think that's the most common way to put it, really, that an entire game would be very hard to just have Two-Face as the main villain, unless you're going to do a whole Spider-Man situation where you're doing like Hammerhead as well, like you're doing, instead of Hammerhead just being his normal mobster self but with a hard ass head. That sounds mad, but I don't know how, but it just does. But like, yeah, you put him in a whole goddamn mech suit, that kind of shit. You'd have to do something like that if you want Two-Face to take up an entire game. I mean, Arkham City, all he really did was just stay for the first mission, and that mission was really cool. But again, like, there's a reason he wasn't really a mainstay, you know, and he didn't really have that big of a role in Arkham Knight either. Okay, now we're on to a true master of the martial arts, the Orange and Black Bandit. That's what I call him. I don't know what the fuck I'm on about. I mean, we all know why I've chosen this man to talk about, because he's very, very extremely skilled. I mean, he's a super soldier, you know. I mean, I don't know if he's Captain America level. Please enlighten me if you know if he is in the comments. I don't really know. I think he's not on that level, but I think he is still a super soldier, so that's still a pretty big merit and it's still a pretty big advantage you have over Batman. And we also must take it to the fact that Deathstroke is not even really a Batman villain per se. He's more of a Teen Titans villain, but sometimes he's an Arrow villain, so like he's just a bit of a superhero slut at this point. So I don't know, is that a merit? Like, I don't know. But I mainly chose Slade because I think he really is in need of a redemption arc. Probably in the entire Arkham series, except from Anarchy, he probably needs a redemption arc. Mainly because of his whole blunder in Arkham Knight, which was so goddamn shit. Going from a whole, probably the best fight in the entire goddamn series. This guy was truly disrespected in Arkham Knight, and well, to be one tapped, well no, two tapped actually, it doesn't make it that much better, but still, by Batman. I mean, it just shows how OP Arkham Batman is at the time of Arkham Knight, but it also just shows how underwhelming Slade has become. I really think that Slade, yeah, I mean, yeah, he has had a chance at the end of Arkham Knight with the militia and stuff. I do think that he could have done a whole lot more there, but at the end of the day, he was there for, you know, 100% completion. He wasn't there to actually give the players a good story, a good fight or whatever. But I think Deathstroke, he had a real opportunity from Origins to improve his skills and just go along with Batman in terms of just pure power and stuff like that. I think everyone agrees that it would be very, very cool if Deathstroke would have over time become as powerful as Arkham Batman, or just under, so they both would be getting powerful as the years go by, so Deathstroke would be thinking, you know, I need to beat this Batman guy. Like from Origins, it became about the money to an actual vendetta against this man who dresses like a bat in his free time. So since that is now his life goal, why would he not go on and improve himself to try and beat Batman in a fairer fight? He's obviously like Batman, where he thinks, okay, this is not tactically not working, let's switch it up and see if the other guy cracks. He's very much like Batman in that way, and that's what makes him unique. So why would he not switch up his tactics when he saw the tank was not working? And at the end where he got clapped, that does not count. You know, Ra's al Ghul is one of my favorite Batman villains of all time, and when making the script for this video, he was originally my favorite choice to be the villain in the next Arkham game. But when I looked at other options, potential options that have not even been in the Arkham series yet, I could not bring myself to choose Ra's al Ghul, but I'll get to that eventually. Now let me tell you why I think Ra's al Ghul would be a almost perfect villain for the next Arkham game. I'd like to talk about first how unique Ra's al Ghul is. I mean, going from the common Batman villain, you know, like a midget with an animal complex, to a pretty much immortal assassin who has almost infinite levels of martial arts training and who could beat almost anyone in a hand-to-hand fight, except from the man himself, of course. But Ra's al Ghul is just so goddamn skilled, and that's what makes him so goddamn threatening. I mean, for an Arkham game that's set specifically between the games of Origins and Asylum, I think it would make Ra's al Ghul one of the most threatening things to Batman at that time period, especially because he is not as, well, obviously well-rounded in his combat. But at the end of the day, you need to be more than just pretty good to beat Ra's al Ghul, big man. The amount of experience this man has in combat is insane. I seriously think that a Ra's al Ghul versus a unexperienced Batman, and you know, unexperienced is a strong word in the Arkham series, since Arkham Origins Batman managed to defeat a very juiced up Venom Bane, so like unexperienced doesn't really exist to him. But still, in an Arkham universe, unexperienced Batman, I think he would really struggle against Ra's al Ghul, and very much it could be the end of Batman facing that experienced of a character at combat. But also, I think that the game would really benefit from the League of Assassins being the main, just like open world enemies. You know how City had the Tiger Guards, Night had the Militia. I think it's a no-brainer that if Ra's al Ghul will be the main villain, then the League of Assassins will be just be everywhere in Gotham. I've never really known them to be that big. I don't think they have been that dominant, I'm gonna say. But they can change things. The writers can change things. It doesn't really have to stay the same, and a unique story is never really a bad thing unless it's Gotham Knights. So, you know, I wasn't able to talk about Talia al Ghul because I just think she would be very important to the whole rest of the Arkham series. You know, since that Talia in Arkham City, she kind of died from basically nothing, and you know, we never really knew her as an audience, and all we knew was that Batman and Talia had some sort of relationship. Some kind of stuff happened in Metropolis, some kind of spicy ass stuff, but still, let's just say there's gonna be no Damien in the next game. Let's just confirm that. But I really think that Talia, she really needs to have character fleshed out, and for a game that takes place between Origins and Asylum, to have Talia be one of the main focal points into the game and interact with Bruce a whole lot in the game, I think it would be very beneficial. Again, not to just that game, but to add stuff to Arkham City as well, to give Talia's death a little more push for anyone who's playing the new Arkham game in like 4 to 5 years time. If they played that game and then play City afterwards, it would be an entirely new way they'll look at Talia and her death. I think that would be really fucking beautiful. This might be a bit of a controversial choice, but I'm going to go for it anyway. I think the Court of Owls would make an amazing villain in the next Arkham game, and they should be. They should be the next villain in the next Arkham game. I've taken into account, I know I've talked a lot about Ra's al Ghul and how good he would be, but I really think the Court of Owls can bring something very different, because again, I'm going to talk about Ra's al Ghul. Yes, it would be good to build upon what the League of Assassins have done in the series in City at Night, but I think would have been a bit overdone, since there already has been a boss fight with Ra's al Ghul, and the League of Assassins has been decent. I was gonna say prominent, decent amounts of being a nuisance in City and Night, but I don't think they're gonna get a bit tiresome, because I started to think League of Assassins what can they really do to the League of Assassins that will make well, will make it different from the rest of the Arkham series? I mean, yeah, they're cool and they're a threat, especially to a more unexperienced Batman. But in terms of having something new, I think the Court of Owls would be a much better choice in that way of things, because we've already faced the League of Assassins yet and again in 2 games now. Actually, they might have been in Origins. I don't remember. Why am I like this? I don't know, but still. But I think the Arkham series really needs something new. It really needs some young blood. And I know Gotham Knights didn't go so well. I hear that. But at the end of the day, this is not WB Montreal. This is Rocksteady we're talking about, which at the end of the day, well, this year, they're not much different, but like still, I still believe in Rocksteady. I still believe in their chance to make a new Arkham game, and I think the Court of Owls will be the ones to take it forward. You know what? I see the Court of Owls as almost an extension of Hush, and I know that really doesn't make sense, but it kind of does in my mind. How I envision how the Court of Owls will really work in a new Arkham game is, again, yeah, the game will take place between Origins and Asylum, and they're mainly going to be threatening because they control fucking Gotham, and Batman doesn't really know how deep their influence goes, and the influence is going down very deep. I'm talking about how Hush influences and how he just makes all the other villains do whatever the fuck he wants, which I don't really like, since Hush is individual, and because of that, because of how manipulative he is, and just how powerful he just seems to be out of goddamn fucking nowhere, I don't really like Hush for that reason. But I see the Court of Owls doing that, and I would really like if they did. I want these guys to be dominant, and I'm not scared to say that. I want these guys to be so fucking powerful and smart. I want these guys to know Batman's identity from almost the get-go. I mean, they can know it from the get-go. Batman doesn't have to know that they know. Like Jason, he didn't know immediately that Jason Todd knew his who he was. But I really think they should be that smart, and I really think that the Court of Owls, they should know who Batman is, because I think a pretty good reason for them not to say outright in Gotham who Batman is because I think they believe that they can control the Bat. The Court of Owls, they strike me as guys that believe that they can control pretty much anyone, and well, anyone can be a tool to them, and everyone will be. If you're in Gotham, you're a tool. That's how the Court of Owls see things. They are in control. They love to be in control. So do I. At the end of the day, Joker's objective in Asylum was to, you could say, break the Bat, kill the Bat, whatever. Origins, Bane, kill the Bat. Joker, break him, try and see what he's all about. City, Stranger trying to beat him, replace him. Knight, was it? Oh yeah, Arkham Knight. Scarecrow, break the Bat. Arkham Knight, break the Bat and kill the Bat, both of them kind of the same thing. I think it would be really beneficial for this game to change up a little bit how these guys would not be trying to kill Batman almost until the very end of the game, where he just proves to be an absolute massive nuisance who's almost taken down the entire thing by himself, and they'll be like, who the fuck is this guy? But I think it'd be very beneficial in the series to have something different. Maybe the Court of Owls could also incorporate Bane's Titan, but maybe that might be overused as well. But you know, like I said, I prefer they just have control over everything. But anyway, that'll be the end of the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I mean, I hope this will turn out to be a long video. I mean, please, goddamn. But still, please tell me down below what you think of my opinion. Should the Court of Owls be the villain in the next Arkham game? Of course they should, it's my opinion. I'm not that arrogant normally, guys. just give me a chance, please. But still, remember to like and subscribe, guys. Remember, I'm your Uncle Kyle, and I'll see you next time.